All right, in this video, we're going to solve for the perimeter and area of a triangle. Now, friends, it would be helpful if we review how to find the area of a rectangle, and there's a reason why, right? Remember in our last video, we said, oh, the area of a rectangle is found by, this is messing with me right now. How fun is that? All right, let's undo what it's trying to do to me and move that over, and let's try it again. Here we go. Okay, so remember we covered the area of a rectangle with square inch or square centimeter tiles, right? Well, when you see a right triangle, we can imagine that there is a rectangle because we copied and pasted this given triangle to you, okay? And so the rectangle is 12 by 5. Well, if we found the area of that rectangle, right, we'd go base of 12 times 5, and that is 60 square centimeters. But remember, we had to copy and paste that triangle to make the full rectangle. In other words, we multiplied it by 2. So what we would need to do to find the area of that triangle is we would take the 60 and divide it by 2 to get 30 square centimeters. Okay? Now, let's go back here and say, what? Is there a formula for the area of a triangle? And it's yes. Any triangle, the area, you could just take the base and the height, multiply them, and then divide by 2. All right? And that will be helpful moving forward. But we forgot something, or I forgot something. You didn't forget it. You probably were like, why didn't I do the perimeter? Okay, remember, if you're standing on a shape and you run around the shape, you would run 13, then 12 centimeters, then 5 centimeters back to your starting point. So our perimeter here is 5 and 12 and 13, all added together, which is 30 centimeters. Wait a minute, can we both have the same answer? No, they're not the same answer, friends. Why are they not the same answer? They're the same number, but they're not the same answer. Remember, centimeters is a distance. You are running a length of 30 centimeters. In this case, we would need 30 tiles, 30 tiles that are a centimeter by a centimeter. So boom, there's like one of them. And you could fit 30 of those little squares inside here. We might have to chop some of them into like little triangles. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, over to our slanty looking triangle. Well, if we have this great formula that is called area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, we need to know what the base and the height are. But I'm going to tease that and say, let's come back to that. Let's do the easy one first. Okay, let's run around this slanty triangle. So let's say I'm standing up here and I run down. And then I run across the base, and then I got to get up to the starting point, so I'm going to run up this slanted part. So there's our perimeter, friends. We would go 14 plus 10 plus 8 is equal to 24 plus 8 is a perimeter of 32 inches. All right, back to the area. We need to know the base and the height. Okay, so this is interesting, because the base is the thing, the part of the triangle that if it were resting on the ground, what would be touching the ground? And that's our 10 inches of that triangle. So, yay, our base is 10. Well, what the heck is the height? Okay, so imagine I'm standing at the top of this triangle and I have a green tennis ball in my hand and I drop it. Whee! It's going to drop straight down because gravity's like, yo, go straight down. Well, what was the height at which I was standing? 6 inches. So your height is 6 inches. That's the vertical height, okay? We don't want to use that little slanty 8 there for this guy. So the area of this triangle is 10 times 6, but what do we got to do after that? Divide by 2, okay? So the area of this triangle is 60 divided by 2, and that means it is 30, and then square inches, of course, because we're covering that. Cool.